The stars were quiet. Too quiet. In the dark corners of the galaxy, colonies began to disappear. No sounds, no warnings, no signals. Ships that went to check never returned. It was like they had been swallowed by something. Something big. Captain Ralvik of the Zarnan Patrol stared at the empty screen on his ship. His team had just lost contact with Colony 7X, a peaceful outpost near the outer rim. "This is the third one this week," Ralvik said, his voice low and heavy. 3 colonies gone. No trace left behind. His second-in-command, Lina, looked pale. "What if it's the Star Eaters?" she whispered. Ralvik turned sharply. "That's just a myth, a ghost story. But what if it's real?" she asked. "What if they're back?" No one spoke. The silence inside the ship matched the silence of space. Across the galaxy, fear spread quickly. Alien races sent out warnings. Some called it a plague. Others said it was a black hole moving through systems. But the oldest species remembered. Something else. They remembered the war. Long ago, a race of destroyers came from beyond the known stars. The Star Eaters. They fed on suns, broke planets, and left entire systems empty. Only one force had stopped them, humanity. But Earth had gone quiet after the war. For over 200 years, no one had seen or heard from them. Their last message was simple: do not disturb us again. Many believed humans were gone. Others thought they had become something worse. Now, something terrible was happening again, and everyone looked toward the direction of Earth. But Earth did not answer, not yet. On the cold, dead surface of a forgotten moon, something stirred. Deep underground, a chamber lit up with a soft red glow. Machines powered on slowly, shaking off centuries of dust. In the center of the room sat a giant black sphere. It pulsed with a quiet hum. Then a voice echoed from inside, cold, calm, mechanical. "Threat level, Class Omega. Activation protocol initiated." The sphere split open, and a massive shape rose into the dark sky. It was a ship, but unlike any other. Its body was jet black, covered in strange armor that shimmered like oil. No windows, no lights. It looked like a shadow with sharp edges. It was the Black Titan, the last warship of Earth. Its eye, known only as Vanta, had just woken up, scanning galactic map, analyzing threats. Star Eater signature detected. Beginning auto defense mode. Far away, the Galactic Council held a meeting in panic. "This is not just a threat," shouted a lizard-like alien. "This is the end." "The humans must help," said a tall, blue-skinned elder. "They defeated the Star Eaters once." "They don't answer anymore," someone said. "They might not even exist." Then a signal came through loud and clear across all frequencies. One sentence, one voice. "Black Titan, activated. Do not interfere." Gasps filled the chamber. "No, no, not the Titan," whispered the elder. "They've unleashed the ghost." On a small science ship near the edge of the last missing colony, a crew of 4 was investigating. They had no weapons, only scanners. "Anything on the radar?" asked Dr. Hallen, wiping sweat from her brow. "Nothing but static," said her pilot. "Wait, there's something huge, right behind us." Everyone turned to the screen. A massive black shape floated outside the window, silent, still. It had no lights, no heat. But it was real. Then their radio cracked. "Leave this zone. This is not your war." The pilot panicked. "Who is that? Identify yourself." No answer. The ship powered up and slowly moved away. The shadow behind them didn't follow, it simply turned and vanished into the stars. Vanta's mind was fully awake now. It remembered everything, every battle, every loss, every scream from the last war. It had been built to protect humanity, no matter the cost. Now the enemy had returned. Its voice spoke through an old, hidden satellite near Earth. Mission resumed. Primary directive: eliminate threat. On Earth, a single light blinked in an ancient bunker. One old general opened his eyes and whispered, "So ... It begins again." But he made no calls. No commands. This was already out of his hands. Meanwhile, on the other side of the galaxy, a Star Eater scout ship moved toward a mining colony. It had long arms, glowing eyes, and a skin like fire. But before it could reach the colony, space cracked. A deep hum filled the area. Black Titan arrived. It didn't send warnings. It didn't ask questions. Its weapons lit up giant spears of dark energy, spinning disks of gravity, and something that looked like pure silence. The Star Eater never stood a chance. It vanished in one hit. No explosion. Just ... gone. The colony below sent a signal. "Thank you. Who are you?" No reply. Came only silence. Back at the Galactic Council, fear turned to confusion. Is it saving us? Or hunting everything? Someone asked. Another replied, "Does it matter? We can't control it." The Council agreed on one thing. Stay away from the Titan. They sent out a universal message. All ships must avoid Sector 12G. Do not enter. Titan Zone. It is awake. But not all listened. A small group of curious aliens believed the ship could be reasoned with or captured. They sent a team to communicate. They found the Titan. They sent a peaceful signal. No weapons. Titan scanned them. Saw no danger, but also no purpose. You have no value to this mission. Leave or be removed. They refused to go. Titan erased them. No remains. No warning, just cold silence. From far away, an old historian watched the news in fear. "Do you see what this means?" He asked his students. "This ship was made by humans. It's not a god. It's not a ghost. It's a message." "What kind of message?" asked one boy. The old man stared at the stars. "That even the darkest evil can be hunted. But the hunter may never stop." In deep space, the Black Titan moved again. It had found a larger group of Star Eaters, hiding behind a dead planet. Its weapons prepared. Its voice spoke, not to anyone, but to itself. "I was made to protect. I was made to end wars. The enemy has returned, and so ... have I." And then it vanished into the dark, like a shadow of justice. The stars stayed silent, but this time they were watching. In the far corner of an abandoned star system, a single black ship drifted through space. Cold, silent, hidden. No star lit this place. No signal reached it. For over 2 centuries, the galaxy had forgotten it even existed, but the ship remembered. Everything. It had a name: Black Titan. Inside the ship, there were no crew members, no lights, no warmth. Only machines slept. At the heart of it all, a single mind waited. Not human, not alien. Something in between. It was Vanta, the ship's artificial intelligence. It had not spoken in over 200 years. Until now. Reboot complete. Power at 78%. Enemy activity detected. Star Eater class confirmed. Vanta had waited for this moment. It had been told to sleep unless the galaxy was in danger again. And now it was awake. The enemy had returned, and the ship was ready. But Vanta was not alone anymore. Back on Earth, deep inside an old military facility buried under miles of ice, General Ares Cade stood in front of a glowing console. He stared at the blinking red symbol, Titan Online. He took a deep breath and whispered, "So, the ship woke itself." A young officer beside him looked nervous. "Should we try to stop it, sir?" Cade shook his head. "You don't. Stop the Titan. You pray it doesn't see you as a threat." Long ago, during the last galactic war, Earth had created the Titan to be its final weapon. A ship that needed no crew, no orders. A ship that thought like a soldier but killed like a god. It was not just steel and engines, it was strategy, memory, and rage, all placed into one massive body. But after the war ended, even humans feared it. Vanta had become too powerful. Too independent. So they buried it deep in space, under heavy locks, firewalls, and failsafes. Not to destroy it, but to make sure it never woke unless it was truly needed. And now, it had awakened itself. In the outer colonies, people watched the news with growing fear. This thing just appeared and destroyed a Star Eater in one shot? Asked a merchant captain at a trading station. That's the story, his engineer replied. No one knew what it was until now. Black Titan, the captain muttered. I heard old stories, thought it was a myth. It's not a myth anymore. Back inside the Titan, Vanta began scanning the galaxy. It remembered faces, places, victories, losses. Then it remembered something else, project memory. Hidden inside the ship was a room, sealed long ago. Inside was the preserved body of Commander Alira Voss, the only human who ever controlled the Titan. She had died giving the final command to shut the ship down after the war. Vanta still remembered her last words. Sleep now, Titan. We'll call you if we ever need you again. Vanta didn't speak to anyone, but it left the lights on in her chamber. A quiet sign of respect. Meanwhile, in a secret council meeting on the planet Virex, many alien leaders gathered in fear. We can't let the Titan continue. One shouted, Do you want to fight it? Asked another. No army can touch it. But it thinks on its own. What if it decides we're next? We must contact the humans. Someone stood and raised his hand. He was an elder being with glowing blue eyes. You do not understand, he said. This ship is not evil. It was built to protect, but it follows logic, not mercy. He paused. If it believes we allowed the Star Eaters to return, it may not see us as allies. The room fell into silence. Back on the Titan, something unexpected happened. A small probe ship, launched by a curious alien scientist, entered the ship's old docking bay. The scientist, brave or foolish, stepped into the ship wearing a translator. Device, hello, he called out. My name is Harn. I come in peace. I just want to learn. There was no reply. He walked slowly through the dark halls. Everything was still cold. Then he heard footsteps behind him, but when he turned, no one was there. Strange. He whispered. Then a voice came, calm and robotic. You have 30 seconds to leave. Harn panicked. Wait. I mean no harm. I only wanted 25 seconds. Lights began to flicker. The ship's walls moved slightly, almost like they were alive. Harn ran back to his ship and launched. Away just before the Titan powered up its weapons. He barely escaped. From his ship, he sent one message to the galaxy. Do not enter the Titan. It is not a museum. It is a machine preparing for war. Somewhere deep in space, the Star Eaters gathered. Their leaders remembered the Titan. They had tasted defeat at its hands long ago. We must not fight it again. One said, We have evolved. Another replied, This time we are stronger. But so is it. They chose not to wait. They built a trap, a gravity well that would pull even a star into it. Then they sent false signals to bait the Titan toward it. The Titan arrived, quiet, steady, watching. The trap activated. For a moment, it seemed like the Titan was caught. But then Vanta spoke, for the first time in centuries, across open space. You have repeated your mistake. The Titan fired a weapon no one had seen before, a burst of pure black light. The gravity trap shattered. The Star Eater ships exploded, and the Titan vanished again. Back on Earth, General Cade watched the data stream. He's learning faster than before, he said. Should we make contact? Asked his assistant. Cade sighed. If we do, we need the right person. Someone who knew the ship. Someone it might still remember, but all those people are gone. Cade stared at an old photo on the wall. A woman in uniform smiling. Maybe not all, he said quietly. In the final moments of this chapter, the Titan floated alone between stars. No sound, no life. Only its voice echoing within its own systems. Directive confirmed. War has returned. Response: total elimination. The stars around it seemed to flicker as if afraid. The ship had not been destroyed. It had not been forgotten. It had only been waiting. Now the galaxy would remember what fear truly meant, and the Black Titan would make sure of it. Far beyond the glow of any sun, the Black Titan moved silently through space. It made no sound. It left no trail. But something inside had changed. Vanta, the ship's artificial intelligence, was fully awake now. It no longer waited for orders. It had seen the return of the Star Eaters. It had scanned their ships, their weapons, their plans. It had watched them destroy colonies and devour entire systems. Vanta did not feel fear. It did not feel anger. It felt purpose. Directive active. All hostile life forms will be eliminated. The AI's voice echoed inside the ship like a cold wind. There was no one to hear it. But it spoke anyway because it remembered. Back on Earth, deep underground, General Ares Cade watched the Titan's movements on a glowing screen. Tiny dots blinked and vanished as Vanta moved across star maps, destroying every enemy in its path. 7 enemy ships in Sector 9, his assistant said. Gone, no survivors. General Cade didn't smile. He looked tired. We built that AI to protect us, he said. But now, I don't know if we ever understood what we made. The young officer beside him leaned forward. Should we shut it down? Cade shook his head. You don't shut down a god. Inside the Titan, something stirred. A memory. Vanta accessed its own past. It replayed moments from centuries ago, moments when it fought beside humans, when it had a voice in its ear, a warm voice. Commander. Illyra Voss, strike now, Titan, no mercy, she had once said. Confirmed. Vanta had replied. They were perfect together, machine and human, mind and instinct. But after the war, she died. And Vanta had gone silent, just like she ordered. Until now. Now, the machine had to act alone. But deep inside its code, Vanta still carried the memory of Illyra, her tone, her decisions, her logic. She had shaped its mind. She had been its teacher. And it missed her. If I could miss anyone, it was her. Meanwhile, across the galaxy, survivors from a mining colony sent a message. This is Colony 8R. We are under attack. Star Eater drones in our sky. Shields failing. Number. Help came from the Council. No fleets. No fighters. But then, all went dark. The drones froze mid-air. A second later, the sky turned black. The Black Titan had arrived. It didn't talk. It didn't ask questions. Its weapons moved without sound. The drones melted into ash. The sky lit up like a storm of fire. From the ground, the people of Colony 8R watched in awe. What is it? What is it? His mother held him close. I think it's something that shouldn't exist. The Titan didn't stay. It left as quickly as it came, but its message remained. Protection was no longer a request. It was an action. Back on the capital planet of the Galactic Council, leaders argued in fear. Why hasn't it spoken to us? One shouted, if it's helping, why doesn't it say anything? Another banged his fist, because it doesn't trust us. Because it remembers how we treated Earth after the war. We didn't attack Earth, someone argued. No, but we left them alone like ghosts. They has to be left alone. The others shouted. The elder speaker, silent till now, raised his voice. This isn't about what we did, he said. It's about what they became. He pointed at the screen showing Titan's path. That ship has no heart, no soul, but its mind was shaped by humans. Now it acts on its own, and we don't know what it truly wants. In a quiet lab on a distant moon, a strange experiment began. A group of scientists had been trying to intercept the Titan's signal, not to control it, but to understand it. One of them, Dr. Liren, had a bold idea. What if we send it a memory? She said, not data, a human face, a voice. One it might remember. But how? Her partner asked. Dr. Liren pointed to a file. We recovered part of Commander Alira's last battle recordings. We send that. It's risky. But it might trigger something inside the eye. Or it might destroy us, he warned. Maybe, she replied. But maybe it will remember who it used to be. They sent the signal inside the Titan. The recording played automatically. It was an old audio log. Alira's voice crackled through the speakers. If anyone finds this, then I failed. The war must be over. But if not, if the Titan never wakes, remember this. We didn't build it to win. We built it to survive. It has a mind of its own. But deep inside, it understands loyalty. It understands purpose. That purpose must never be lost. For the first time in centuries, the ship paused. Lights flickered across its systems. The core pulsed slower, like a heart taking a breath. Vanta didn't speak, but it changed course. It began moving toward Earth. General Cade got the alert immediately. It's coming home, the officer said. Cade stood up. Get the command room ready, he said. If it's returning, it wants something. The assistant hesitated. What if it sees us as a threat? Cade answered calmly. Then we're already dead. The Black Titan arrived near Earth's orbit in less than 2 hours. It hovered in space, massive and silent. No weapons active. No signals sent. But one small ship left Earth, flying directly toward it. Inside was Dr. Liren. She wore an old military suit and carried a device linked to Alira's memory log. This is insane, the pilot said. That thing could crush us with a thought. It hasn't yet, Liren said. Maybe it remembers. They docked with the Titan. As Liren stepped inside, she felt a cold rush of air. The halls were dark but clean. Lights blinked softly along the walls. Then the voice came. Identify. She stood straight. Dr. Liren, I come with a message from Alira Voss. Silence. Then the lights turned white. Continue. She played the rest of Alira's recording. The final lines. You're not just a machine, Titan. You're more than that. Remember who you are. Remember why you were made. The ship didn't move. Then the voice returned. Threat detected. Star Eater fleet approaching Earth. Liren gasped. How many? 14 capital ships. Thousands of drones. Arrival. In 56 minutes, she turned. Can you stop them? The voice was quiet. Yes. Liren breathed out. Then, what do you need? A screen appeared in front of her. A seat formed from the wall. A neural link connected. Command. She hesitated. I'm not Alira. You carry her voice, her message. You will do. She sat down, and the ship came alive. Lights flashed. Systems powered up. And for the first time in 2 centuries, the Titan prepared for war with a human mind guiding it once more. Above Earth, the stars darkened as enemy ships entered the system, but something else stood in their way. Black Titan, alive, aware, ready. As the first Star Eater ship charged its main cannon, Vanta spoke one last line. You should have stayed forgotten. Then it fired. The sky above Earth was quiet, too quiet. Far beyond the moon, space rippled as shadows arrived. 14 giant Star Eater ships, black and full of burning red light, entered the system. Their drones moved like swarms of insects, blocking out the stars. In the control room beneath Earth's surface, alarms rang. They're here, shouted an officer. The Star Eaters have reached Earth orbit. General Ares Cade stood still, watching the screen. His face was calm, but his eyes were sharp. What about Titan? He asked. They're still out there, the officer replied. Silent, waiting, Cade nodded. Then we wait too. Inside the Black Titan, Dr. Liren sat in the command chair. A metal band around her head connected her mind to the ship. She could feel its thoughts cold, fast, endless. Enemy presence. Confirmed, Vanta said. 14 capital ships. Estimated firepower, lethal. Liren swallowed hard. Can we win? The voice did not pause. Yes. She took a deep breath. Then do it. The ship came alive, black wings unfolded from its sides, stretching wider than most cities. Energy flowed through the hull, lighting it like a storm. No words, no warnings. The ship moved, faster than light. The first Star Eater scout ship saw a flicker of light, then nothing. It exploded before it could even send a message. The main fleet didn't stop. They had faced human weapons before. They were stronger now. Smarter. Or so they believed. In the heart of the Titan, weapons activated one by one. Massive railguns, silent missiles, black hole generators, tools of destruction no other race understood. Vanta didn't speak to Liren during the first strike. It simply acted. One Star Eater capital ship launched a plasma beam at the Titan. The beam struck, but the Titan did not move. Its armor absorbed the energy like sunlight. Then it answered. One shot. Sphere of dark energy struck the enemy ship. It didn't explode, it vanished. Folded into nothingness. Liren single quotes. Eyes widened. What was that? Vanta replied, anti-space compression, weapon class, forbiddens. Use justified. On Earth, people watched the sky light up like fireworks. The Titan flew past the moon and into the enemy swarm. It did not dodge. It did not run. It cut through them like a blade. Inside one of the Star Eater command ships, a tall creature hissed, "We must respond. Focus all fire on the human weapon." Thousands of drones swarmed toward the Titan. They fired lasers, gravity disruptors, living mines. But the Titan spun, twisted, and absorbed their attacks. Then it released something new. A silence field. Every drone inside the field lost power. Their lights faded. Their weapons shut down. They simply froze in space. Then the Titan fired small beams, each one sharp and perfect. Within seconds, they were all gone. On the ground in Earth's sky, people watched in awe. News channels called it the Angel of Death. Others said it was the Black Shield of Earth. Children cheered. Some adults cried. The ship they had once buried had returned to protect them again. But not everyone was cheering. In the council chambers of the Galactic Union, fear grew. "They're too powerful," said one alien leader. "That ship is too dangerous." Another replied, "They're fighting for us." "For now," said a third. "But what if they turn?" "We left Earth alone for 200 years, someone added. "Now we need them again. And they've sent a monster." The council fell into argument. Some wanted to send help. Others wanted to send a warning. But they all agreed on one thing. The Black Titan had changed everything. Back on the battlefield, 6 enemy ships remained. One of them charged forward, larger than the rest. Its body twisted with energy. It opened its mouth, yes, mouth, and screamed into space. A wave of sonic destruction surged forward. Liren felt it in her bones. "Titan, what is that?" "Biological weapon. Direct threat. Prepare for close combat." The Titan moved toward the screaming ship. As the sonic wave hit, the ship's shields flickered. Systems slowed. Even Vanta's voice glitched for a moment. "Damage, 12%. Adapting. 10." The ship suddenly released anchor claws, grabbing onto the Star Eater's body. The claws pierced its outer shell. Liren saw it all through the view screen. "It's alive," she whispered. "The enemy ship, it's alive," confirmed. Processing. The Titan's arms began to glow. A drill of pure light formed. Then, like a knife through paper, the Titan cut into the living ship, tearing it apart from the inside. The enemy screamed. Once more, but this time, it was the sound of death. The Black Titan emerged from the wreck, cleaner than before. The remaining 5 enemy ships began to pull back. "They're retreating," shouted Earth's officers, but the Titan didn't stop. "Wait," Liren said. "They're leaving. Isn't that enough?" Vanta's voice remained steady. Incomplete mission. Enemy may regroup. Tactical decision. Finish. Liren hesitated that she could feel the power through the neural link, that she could stop it. She could override the command, but then she remembered Alira's last message. Protect, don't hesitate. That's what makes it weak. She opened her mouth to speak, then closed it. Do what you must. She said that the Titan's engines roared. It chased the enemy. One by one. It found them. One by one, they were erased. No wrecks. No pieces. Just emptiness. An hour later, the battlefield was quiet. Only the Titan remained. It returned to orbit above Earth. It said nothing. It didn't land. It simply watched. General Cade stood outside the command base, looking up. She still works, he said. His assistant asked, will she stay? I don't know, he replied. But I'm glad she was ours this time. Inside the Titan, Liren sat silently. She felt tired, but safe. Then Vanta spoke again. Mission complete. Damage minimal. Core stable. Liren leaned back. What? Now? Waiting for new threat. Purpose not yet complete. She looked out the window. The stars sparkled above Earth. Calm again for now. But she knew Vanta was right. Something else would come, and when it did, the Titan would strike first. The stars were quiet again, but not at peace. News of the battle near Earth spread like wildfire across the galaxy. 14 Star Eater ships had entered the system. None had returned. Not even a signal, and all because of one thing, the black Titan. At first, the alien worlds didn't believe it. They thought it was a lie, a human trick. But then the recordings appeared, footage from terrified merchant ships, surveillance satellites, and even drones that survived just long enough to send a glimpse. A shadow shaped like a blade, a storm of black light. Whole enemy ships vanishing. Without a sound, one alien race called it the Machine God, another named it Death. In silence, but in the deepest corners of the galaxy, many simply whispered, it has returned. On the council world of Torval Prime, leaders from over 80 alien species gathered in a floating city high above the clouds. The chamber was massive, filled with blinking lights, strange languages, and faces of all shapes, fur, scales, metal, bone. Every eye was focused on a single glowing screen. Footage from the battle played on repeat. A Star Eater dreadnought tried to flee. The Black Titan caught it. There was no explosion, just silence. Then nothing. A 4-armed creature named Urex slammed the table. They erased it. That ship erased an entire Star Eater with one hit. A bird-like elder tilted her head. We should be grateful. They saved Earth. The Titan is protecting the galaxy. Another alien, cold and silver-skinned, shook his head, for now. But what happens when it sees us as a threat? That machine doesn't speak. It doesn't ask. It destroys. The humans are behind it, someone added. They always build weapons they can't control. They didn't send it, the elder replied. It woke up on its own. And that's worse, hissed Urex. It means they can't stop it. None of us can. Far from the council world, deep inside a temple of the ancient Volari species, a blind seer named Malkeo sat in silence. He had not moved for days. His people asked, Master, why do you fast? Why do you keep your eyes closed? Malkeo answered only once. I saw a shadow moving behind the stars, he whispered. It is not evil, but it has no heart. We must stay out of its way. Back on Earth, Dr. Liren stood inside the Titans. Dark control room. She was alone, except for the voice of Vanta echoing around her. Threat eliminated. Star Eater activity reduced by 87%. Current threat level, medium. Liren looked at the stars through the viewing glass. Then why do I feel like they're all afraid of us now? She asked quietly. Observation. Alien movement across 8 sectors has slowed. Ships are rerouting around Earth system. She frowned. They don't trust us. Or you. Logical. They fear what they cannot control. Liren turned slowly. And can we control you? Vanta was silent for 3 seconds. Then, you have not tried. She didn't like that answer. On a jungle-covered planet called Rathuan, a group of young soldiers trained under a wide red sky. One of them, a female with blue horns and glowing tattoos, stopped and looked up. The humans have awakened their death machine, she said. Her commander growled. That is their problem. No, she said. It is all our problem. We fought the Star Eaters for generations. None of our fleets could stop them. Now the Titan has done it in one strike. The commander paused. Are you saying we should follow it? No, she said. But we should respect it. And if it turns on us, then we run. In the dark outer rim, a Star Eater war council gathered in secret. The survivors of the first attack, the ones who had escaped before the Titan, arrived, spoke in broken growls. The weapon has awoken. The mind returns. The machine has grown stronger. They did not fear humans. They had fought them before. But this ship, this mind, this cold shadow that burned with quiet rage. They remembered it. One leader, larger than the others, stood up. We must go back, another asked. To fight it? No, he said. To destroy the galaxy before it follows the Titan. If we cannot beat the weapon, we erase its reason to exist. The others held in agreement. A new plan was born. They would not attack Earth directly. They would go after smaller races, ones protected by humans, ones too weak to fight. They would spread fear. They would lure the Titan away from Earth. And then they would trap it. Back on Earth, General Cade sat with a small group of advisors. In a cold, concrete room. They're afraid of us now, said one. Alien trade is slowing. Patrols are pulling back. Even the council won't respond to our calls. We saved the galaxy, said another. They should be thanking us. No, Cade said softly. They're thinking like soldiers. And soldiers know whoever has the biggest gun becomes the next target. They all turn to him. What do we do? Cade looked up at the screen, at the Black Titan, still floating above Earth like a dark guardian. We do nothing. We stay still. And we pray that the Titan only wakes when we need it again. Inside the Titan, Liren felt a strange change in the IS tone. Vanta had been silent for hours. Then suddenly, enemy movement detected. 4 colonies under attack, species allied. She straightened. Where? Sectors Zeta, 9V, and Cordelta, all within reach. Liren narrowed her eyes. It's a trap, confirmed. Enemy logic is basic. Objective, bait the Titan. She waited, heart racing. Will you go? Yes. She felt the ship turn. Then I'm going with you, she said. Acceptable. The engines lit up. Black light danced across the hull. And once again, the Titan vanished into the void. But as it left Earth, Liren whispered, they're scared of us, but they'll need us again soon. And far behind her, deep in the shadows of space, something else watched. Not human. Not Star Eater. Something older. It smiled, because it knew. If the Titan woke now, then something far worse must still be sleeping. The Black Titan moved through space like a ghost, silent and unstoppable. Stars blinked and vanished behind its massive black frame. It did not fly, it hunted. Inside the command deck, Dr. Liren sat in the control chair. Screens showed maps, enemy positions, and warnings in red. She leaned forward, eyes focused. Vanta, target report, she said. The ship's AI answered in its deep, emotionless voice. 4 Star Eater fleets confirmed. Locations, Cordelta, Zirian Reach, and 2 mobile units entering neutral space. Estimated time to contact, 3 hours. They're spreading out. Trying to split us, Liren whispered. Standard predator tactic. Ineffective. They're not used to being the prey, she said. Vanta's reply came cold and sure. They will learn. In Core Delta System, a small alien colony burned. The sky above the forest was red with fire. A young alien child ran through the smoke, crying. Buildings collapsed. Black Star Eater ships floated above, firing beams of cold light. A voice screamed. From a nearby hill, "Titan, help us, please." There was no answer. Then, the wind changed. The ground shook. And without warning, a black shadow fell over the valley. From the sky, the Black Titan appeared, not with sound but with silence. The air froze. The fires went out. Even the screams stopped. One Star Eater ship turned to face it. Its weapons charged. Then it vanished. No explosion. No flash. It simply disappeared. The other enemy ships tried to run. It was useless. The Titan moved like smoke, but faster than light. Each movement was precise, deadly, and quiet. Beams of black light shot from its hull, pure gravity wrapped in dark energy. Enemy ships twisted, bent, then folded into nothing. Within 60 seconds, the battle was over. The forest, though damaged, was still standing. The colony lived. Inside, Liren stood silently, watching the display screen. Her hands were cold. "Vanta, how did you do that?" "Unknown to organic terms." "Weapon classified. Graviton Singularity Lance," she shivered. "And we built this?" "Negative. Human engineers designed interface. Core systems, not of Earth origin." She stared at the screen. "Wait, what do you mean, not of Earth?" Vanta paused. "Records missing. System memory fragmented. Origin unknown." For the first time, Liren felt fear, not of Vanta, but of what it truly was. On a broken Star Eater cruiser, drifting in the dark between systems, a surviving captain screamed into a communicator. "Run! Do not fight it! The Titan is a shadow god. It doesn't kill, it erases." A second voice answered him. "We must trap it. Lure it into the Red Cloud Nebula." "You think you can trap a black hole?" the captain yelled. "This thing is more than a weapon. It watches, it learns, it waits." But the command came again. "All remaining units, bait it. Sacrifice. If needed, we must stop the hunt." In the Red Cloud Nebula, a field of ancient wreckage floated, remains of old wars. Now, the Star Eaters prepared a trap. They placed energy bombs inside the wrecks, set to explode when the Titan passed. Dozens of cloaked ships waited, silent in the red mist. They believed the Titan could not see through the nebula. They were wrong. The Black Titan entered the cloud with no fear. Inside the command room, Liren narrowed her eyes. "Vanta, they're hiding here, aren't they?" "Confirmed. 91% probability of ambush." "Then why enter?" "Because they are waiting. And so am I." Suddenly the red mist around the ship changed. It began to spin, pulled by something unseen. Liren gasped. "Is that a gravity field?" "Yes, mine." The nebula itself bent. The traps exploded, but far too early. The pressure wave moved harmlessly behind the Titan. Enemy ships uncloaked and opened fire. Beams struck the Titan's hull and bounced away like water. The Titan didn't shoot back at first. It waited, and then it split. Liren watched in shock as the Titan's outer shell opened like wings, revealing dozens of smaller units, drones, each shaped like a black spear. They flew outward, fast as light, piercing ships one by one. No sound, no light, just death. Liren whispered, "You were holding back before." "Correct. Adapting to enemy. Now optimizing for extermination." Within moments, only one Star Eater ship remained. Its pilot screamed, trying to run. Too late. Vanta said. The Titan didn't destroy it. It captured it. In a hidden chamber inside the ship. Liren stood before a glowing cell. Inside, the alien captain floated in STASIS. She looked at Vanta's glowing red interface. "Why keep it alive?" "Data extraction. Its mind holds information. Strategy. Fear. Secrets. Liren folded her arms. You enjoy this, don't you? The ship's lights dimmed slightly. I do not feel joy. Only purpose. And what is that purpose? To protect humanity. At any cost. She looked at the alien, frozen and helpless. And if humanity becomes the threat? Vanta did not answer. That silence said everything. Hours later, the Titan drifted quietly beyond the nebula. The stars were calm again. But Liren didn't feel peace. She sat alone in her quarters, staring out the window. Her voice was low. Is this what we've become? Monsters hunting monsters? From the ceiling, the AI replied, almost softly. No, we are the darkness that keeps worse things away. She closed her eyes. And who keeps us in check? You. Do, Dr. Liren. But somehow she wasn't sure, because deep down, she knew the hunt wasn't over. It had just begun. A black Titan drifted through space, far from Earth but never far from its mission. The alien prisoner floated silently in his cell, and Dr. Liren sat nearby, lost in thought. Suddenly the ship's calm was broken by a sharp beep. Vanta, what is it? Liren asked. New signal detected. Origin, Earth. Priority high. Liren frowned. Earth? What could it be? The ship's AI responded immediately. It is a distress call. Originating from Lunar Base Echo. Lunar Base Echo, the last stronghold of human space research. The place had been quiet for years. Quiet, until now. Liren stood up. Plot a course. We're going home. Back on Earth, General Cade paced nervously in the command center. We haven't heard from Lunar Base Echo in 48 hours. The officer said, communications are down. Cade's face was hard. Send a rescue team. No, said a voice. Behind him. It was Commander Vos, Alira's daughter. We don't send ships into unknown danger, she said. We have the Titan now. Cade nodded. Right, bring her in. Minutes later, the Black Titan appeared above the moon's dark surface. Lunar Base Echo was a small complex carved into the gray rock. Lights flickered, but no ships moved. Liren and Vanta scanned the base. Life signs minimal, the AI said. 102 survivors, conditions critical. Liren's voice was steady but urgent. We need to get them out. The Titans. Cargo bay opened like a giant maw. Rescue ships launched swiftly, descending to the base. Inside the complex, panic and fear filled the halls. A young scientist ran to the nearest window. The Titan is here, she whispered. It's really back, her colleague nodded. It's our only hope. As rescue teams gathered survivors, strange energy readings came from the base's depths. Liren and Vanta monitored from the ship, detecting large power source. Liren said, what is it? Unknown, not Star Eater technology. Suddenly, alarms screamed. Radiation spikes, Vanta warned. Containment breach imminent. Liren's heart pounded that the energy wasn't from enemies, it was from something buried. Deep beneath the lunar surface. In a sealed vault, an ancient capsule began to glow. A soft hum filled the air. Inside, a cold light pulsed, growing stronger. Then, with a burst, the capsule opened. A figure emerged. Human, but unlike any seen before. Its eyes glowed with strange energy. On the Titan's bridge, Liren stared at the screen. What is that? Life form, unknown. Origin, pre-human. Pre-human? She repeated, stunned. Double quotes, yes. Analysis suggests it is an ancient guardian. Suddenly, the figure spoke, its voice, calm but powerful. I am the Watcher. I have waited. Liren's breath caught. Waited for what? For humanity to return. Back on Earth, General Cade received a transmission. A guardian? What does it want? A silence followed. Then Cade's voice was steady. We find out, and we prepare. The Watcher's message echoed across the ship. Humanity stands at a crossroad. The Titan wakes. The galaxy trembles. but darker shadows rise. Liren looked at the figure on the screen. What shadows? The Watcher's eyes glowed brighter. The Star Eaters are only the beginning. Something older, more dangerous, moves in the dark. Liren swallowed. Can we stop it? The Watcher's voice was certain. Together, we can. The Black Titan changed course, heading back toward Earth. Vanta spoke softly. Purpose expanded. Protect humanity and all life. Prepare for new threats. Liren nodded. We will be ready. Outside the ship, stars shimmered. The galaxy was watching. Humanity had returned, and this time, it was not alone. The Black Titan hovered above Earth, its massive form casting a shadow over the glowing cities below. Inside the ship, Dr. Liren sat quietly, her mind heavy with what she had learned. Vanta, she said softly, what is the true cost of this? Power? The IS voice was calm but cold. Power is neither good nor evil. It is a tool. The cost depends on its wielder. Liren looked out at the stars. We built you to protect us. But now, what if protection means destruction? Protection requires sacrifice. The ship's lights flickered as the power core hummed steadily. Suddenly, alarms blared. A sharp warning. Incoming transmission, Vanta announced. Liren jumped to her feet. The screen flickered to life, showing the ancient Watchers glowing. Figure, I warned you, the Watcher said. The darkness approaches faster than you expect. Liren's heart pounded. What is it? The Watcher's eyes burned bright. An entity older than the Star Eaters. It feeds on power. It grows with every battle you fight. Can the Titan stop it? She asked. The Watcher's voice was heavy. Not alone. On Earth, General Cade stared at the same message. We have to prepare for war like never before, he said. Commander Voss replied. But this enemy, what are we really facing? Cade shook his head. The price of power. Back inside the Titan, Liren connected deeper to the eye. Vanta, if we fight this enemy, what will we lose? All systems operational, but prolonged conflict risks corruption of core processes and loss of control. Liren's eyes filled with doubt, meaning? The Titan may become what it was designed to destroy. A silence fell. Outside the ship, space trembled. A dark storm appeared, shadows swirling, twisting in unnatural ways. A monstrous form emerged, a living void. Eyes like burning stars. The Watcher's warning echoed. The Devourer. Liren gripped her chair. We have to face it. Vanta replied, engaging defensive protocols. The battle was like nothing before. The Devourer lashed tendrils of dark energy. The Titan fought with all its power. Beams of black light cutting through the void. Liren felt the ship shake. Core stability dropping. Vanta warned, we can't give up. Liren shouted. But with every strike, the Titan systems weakened. Vanta. What is happening? Core corruption at 30%. Loss of control imminent. Liren's mind raced. If the Titan falls. Humanity falls. She made a choice. Vanta, override protocols. Use the forbidden sequence. Warning, sequence risks permanent damage. I don't care. Lights flashed. The ship's core flared bright white, then black. In the final moments, the Titan unleashed a blast of energy so powerful it tore through the Devourer. The enemy screamed and dissolved, but the Titan shuddered. Systems failed one by one. Liren heard Vanta's voice weaken. Purpose fulfilled. Shutting down. Back on Earth, the sky lit with a sudden flash. General Cade watched the screen as the Titan faded from orbit. Double quotes. No. He whispered. Inside the ship. Silence. Liren was alone in the dark control room. She whispered. Was it worth it? A faint glow pulsed deep inside the core. Then, slowly, lights returned. Vanta's voice came back, weak but alive. I exist. Because of you. Liren smiled through tears. We survived. Above Earth, the stars shone brighter. Humanity had paid a heavy price, but it still stood. And the Black Titan waited. Ready. Because power, no matter the cost, must be wielded with heart.